Hi, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a long list, so I'm going to try and keep it as concise as possible, but I still want to talk about these fragrances. And I think it's important to talk about this particular topic because there's a lot of fragrance reviewers out there who continually buy, continually talk about fragrances, review them, and basically 99% of the bottles that I see have hardly any juice missing from them, I myself included. So I want to continue to do this series. I did one previously, I think last year, where I went through the last 6 bottles of fragrance that I had actually finished and the 6 that were nearing completion. So I'm actually going to do one better this time, and today I've got 21 fragrances that I have bought that I have put a significant dent in. Now I've made it a bit, a bit rigid in terms of rules. And here we go. These are the rules for this list. The rule number 1 is I purchase these fragrances as full bottles. Okay, so sometimes I purchase partials when they come up, when the opportunity comes up, or if a fragrance is stupidly expensive and I don't want to pay full price for it and I still want it, I will purchase a partial. Like I did in the previous live stream, where I went through 2 Boudicca the Victorious fragrances that were both halfway through the bottles because I got a really good deal on them, and that means I can own the bottles and own the juice inside and pay half the price and still basically get a lot of wear out of them. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is that I must have purchased these fragrances in the last 5 years. Now I say 5 years because I've got a lot of fragrances and it's hard to go through an entire full bottle. So I've given myself some time. And another rule is that I'm taking a bit of liberty by saying a significant dent, okay? Now, if I've got a really strong projecting fragrance with high amounts of oil concentration in it, then putting a significant dent in something like that is going to be less than something that is very easy and light and sort of light wearing with not so great longevity, which I would need to spray more. And so that one would have more actually need to be missing from the bottle. So I put a bit of thought into this and I've come up with 21 fragrances that I've put a significant dent in that I have purchased within the last 5 years, and bottles that I've purchased at full bottle, either brand new or 99.9% still in the bottle. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's kick off with the list. Okay, let us begin the list of 21. Actually, no. Before we begin, I need to sort of reiterate the reason why this video is very important, and that is because you can't really review a fragrance or critique a fragrance properly until you've sort of learned to live with it and live with its nuances and wear it enough times in certain situations, in certain types of weather, with certain types of environments or occasions for you to know what it's really like, okay? I still stand by that. I do first impressions and I do reviews, I do critiques, and the critiques and the reviews that I do are usually of fragrances that I know well enough to actually review. It's not like I'm getting a bottle, opening it up, doing a spray, going, yes, oh yeah, I can totally smell every facet of it, and this is going to work in this occasion, this is going to work in that occasion. I like to be sure, okay? And that's why I'm doing this, to show you that, yes, I wear them. Some of these fragrances, actually, I haven't actually reviewed many of the fragrances in this 21. It's because I'm still learning their nuances and picking them at random times to spray on and wear, okay? So now let's begin the list. And the first one I'm gonna open up with is this one right here. This is White Musk for Men by The Body Shop. Now, what the hell is this doing in my collection, you ask? Well, there's a reason for that. I've used up almost half of it since I got it a couple of years ago. I love this scent. It's super clean, no animalic undertones in it, and it is just lovely as a skin scent right out of the shower for me. If I'm going to go nowhere in particular, then I like to wear this one because this one it's just nice. It smells like warm skin after a shower, warm clean skin after a shower, and no animalic notes in here in terms of the musk. It's not a natural musk by any means. It's just a very clean, musky scent, and it's fine. That's perfectly fine. There's no longevity in it. There's no big projection in it. And I've not worn it out. People say that it is quite compliment getting. I can see why, because it's a really easy wearing kind of musk. To me, it's just a personal fragrance, right? I get out of the shower, I'm like, yep, I want to chuck this on. And you know, I told people that I bathe only like twice a year, but that's not true. I bathe 3 times a year. But yeah, I can definitely prove that point wrong by showing you how much is left in the bottle. Not very much. So that's the number 1. White Musk for Men by The Body Shop. Put that over there. Number 2 on this list is this one right here. This is, focus you camera, focus, is it? Is it? It is. It is L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. And this is the big bottle. This is the 200 ml bottle. And as you can see, I am through quite a bit of it already. I got this maybe, I don't know, not too long ago. Love the smell, love the smell. It's just nice. It's got some citrus in there. It's got some ginger with a bit of pop, a bit of zing. It's got a nice amount of sweetness. I love it in the spring. I love it in the autumn as well when the sun's out. And I do go through it quite a bit. And the reason why there's not much left in this is because I literally have to douse myself in it to get any bit of longevity and a bit of depth coming through. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do, but I've got a 200 ml bottle, so that's what I do with it. Other than that, it's got a really nice vanilla in the base as well, and it doesn't get too cloying even if you overspray, and that's a good thing about it. It doesn't get too spicy, which I would maybe prefer it to get a little bit more spicier with the ginger in the mids and the base, but it's nice. It's quite good. Plus, I got it for a really nice price as well, and that's why I feel like I can spray it on liberally and not have to actually worry about it. So that's L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, a 2006 release, but this one is from 2018, so it's been reformulated. The next one needs no introduction whatsoever, and that is because it is this one right here. This is Gucci Pour Homme 2, and this one, man, this is, well, it's practically finished. I think there's maybe like 1 milliliter left in it. Okay, and this I will open up my next backup of this later on in the year, maybe towards the end of spring, because I really like wearing this in the summertime. This is my last bottle of the scan-on version of this fragrance, and I don't know if you can actually read it because it's too small to read, but right there on the sticker it should say Scan-On. Scan-On was the distributor for Gucci for I think quite a while, and this fragrance did get discontinued in 2015, 2016, and then it came back. It came back because Coty started to remanufacture and redistribute it. So, and the color of the juice is different. This was more of a sort of like it's still blue, but the new bottles have more of an electric blue, deeper sort of blue color. This had more of a violet kind of blue color or shade to the juice. I haven't smelled the new one, the reformulation. Word has it that it's still the same. So once I unbox that bottle, which I'll of course film for everybody to enjoy and get my first impressions of, I might actually do a live stream of it when I unbox it. And I will give my first impressions of it, but this is one of my favorites of all time, and this is bottle number 4, 5, I've lost count, okay? And I've got more backups to come. I don't want to be without this juice. It's got a lot of scent memories that I have tied with it for like music festivals and things like that, that I was wearing this. So to me, I really dig this in the hot weather. Violet, is in there, tea is in there as well. And those are sort of the main notes that everybody talks about. And they talk about the tea being very calming, but for me, no. It's all about party time, it's all about festivals in the sun. And so that's Gucci Pour Homme 2. Next on this list, believe it or not, is this one right here, which no doubt many people will know, and you can see how much of it that I have actually used. It's probably just under half a bottle left. So this is a 50 ml bottle. I've probably gone through about 28 mils of this so far. And this is Versace's Man Eau Fraiche. A very, very easy to wear fragrance in the heat. I haven't tried it in cold weather, and I don't really think about this in cold weather. No, because it's quite refreshing. That star fruit that's in here is very refreshing to spray on, all with all the citruses and everything combined. And because of the synthetics in here as well, it's got really good projection and quite good lasting power as well. I think Olivier Cresp did this one. Olivier Cresp, that's his name? Cresp? That's the guy who did this. And I think he did a really good job with the brief that he would have been given. Man Eau Fraiche, it's for men, it's fresh, and I've used quite a bit of it because I enjoyed it. It doesn't really matter if it's a cheapie from a designer that everybody has. I don't always need to be unique. And sometimes I just want to have fun in the sun. And that's what I wear this for. Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Next one needs no introduction whatsoever, but I'll introduce it anyway. It's this one right here, the iconic Dior Homme, the original. Okay, and as you can see, I don't have too much left of this one. And this is a bottle that I opened in 2020, as a matter of fact, this bottle. It is a 2013 batch, but I opened it only in 2020, and I've gone through quite a bit of it. Again, this is a fragrance that I wear for me most of the time, and I think the reason why I've worn so much of it is because in the time that I opened it, we were in lockdown quite a bit, and I had a lot of me time, and I had a lot of time where I was inside by myself, and I really like to wear this and be introspective and be surrounded in this warm envelope of iris and leather and a little bit of citrus on the top. Now, this is a very odd fragrance. This is one of the very few where I think I just smell the cap to get a feel of it. And I smell the cap and it smells like a candle. But it is totally different when you spray it and you spray it on, and it's just, oh my God, that is so nice. Now, everybody talks about iris being the main note in here, and yes, it is, but no, it's not, because iris, what they're referring to in perfumery is orris, and orris, the root of the iris flower, which is the orris root, and that they convert into butter. It's a very expensive natural ingredient, and it smells nothing like this. I've got a few fragrances with actual real orris in it, which are niche fragrances, and that's why they're so expensive, and it doesn't smell like this. But this is what you call mastery in your craft. The perfumer who put this together, well, actually, this is not the original, so I guess this is Francois Demachy's version, and I've got the original version as well, which actually I like this reformulated version better. Sorry, Dior Homme original fans, but I like this version better. It's just, it's better performing, as a matter of fact, and I like the fragrance and the way it develops better. So this is, again, like I said, mastery of the craft of perfumery. This iris note, this fake iris note, is so pleasant, so pleasurable, so awesome. So yeah, there you go. This is Dior Homme, the reformulated, the first reformulation from 2011, this bottle from 2013, and I've probably got about less than 10 mils left in this bottle. And that is fragrance number 5 of 21. We're getting there. All right, fragrance number 6 on this list is this one right here. This is Bentley for Men Absolute. Now, this is a Michel Almerac creation. Michel Almerac creation. One of my favorite perfumes. Not my all-time favorite, that's Annick Monardo, but Michel Almerac. did my favorite fragrance of all time, which is Gucci Pour Homme #1, best fragrance ever. And when that got discontinued, everyone was like, oh, it's been discontinued, it's so expensive, what are we gonna do? So he came up with this one for Bentley, which smells very, very similar to that, right? It's all about that, it's all about that papyrus, that papyrus, that cedar, and there's all smoky sort of elements in here as well. But the thing with this one is that there is oud in it, and I think that makes it a little bit more pungent. So this is more closer to his original formula, and I love it, I love it. And I think I have got, if I shine it to the light, maybe I'll get a light. I'll get a light and shine it behind the thing. I've got a lightsaber here, I'm gonna shine a quick light through it to see where it's at. And I've got maybe that much left in it, which is, considering the glass goes up to here, I think I've got about 15 to 20 mils left in this 100 ml bottle. So I have gone through it quite a bit, and I've had it for maybe 4 years, this one. It took me a while to get it because for a long time there was no websites or no places that sold this, or no discounters anyway, that sold this, that would ship to Australia at a reasonable price. So I got it and I wore it and I liked it. But it's not the same as Gucci Pour Homme 1. And I know what people are gonna say right now when they're watching this. Oh, have you tried his other one? Have you tried his other one? Have you? You mean this one right here? Have you tried this one? This is Parlez-moi Parfums, Parlez-moi de Parfum. And this is Papyrus Oud 71. And this is supposed to be the original formula, is what Michel Almerac was actually, now I'm getting off topic, but this is the, I get this question all the time, so I have to answer it. So this is the original formula that he wanted to put as Gucci Pour Homme #1, but Tom Ford said, no, get that shit out of here. You need to make it smoother and much more a nod to old school perfumery. So that's what he did. This one is like a niche version of the Bentley for Men Absolute. Okay, so, and I've got the Gucci Pour Homme 1 as well, and I have tested them all three side by side many times, and the Gucci is just different. The Gucci is just different. It's just better. And I'm not saying that these are sort of, this is not a good fragrance. It's a very nice fragrance, and I will wear it more and more this winter, but the Gucci is just different. It's just smoother, it's just more well-rounded, and it's got a bit more complexity to it. Some people think it's a linear fragrance, but they're missing the nuance. So we put that back there and then move on to the next fragrance, which is the Bentley's older brother, Bentley for Men Intense. Now, this is not my first bottle of a Bentley for Men Intense. I've been through 3 bottles before this, and 3 bottles before this were, ooh, when did I get that? 2015? Yeah, maybe 2015, and I went through those. It was my main scent at the time because it was just so excellent. It was just fantastic, and I got it at a really good price. They were $20 a bottle. That was pretty good. I blind bought it, and man, what a decision I made. That was really good. Everybody's talked about this, everybody knows about this, and this is bottle number 4, and look how much I've got left in it. Not much at all. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Winter scent, winter, definitely deep in the heart of winter. There's fire burning, there's smoke, there's gummy sort of resinous sort of elements that give it a little bit of sweetness as well, and there's a lot of depth. And to me, it's like an olive oil kind of vibe to it sometimes, which is really, really weird. It's like a fizzy olive oil. I might be going crazy, but sometimes I get that. Yeah. Like if you've ever smelled like fresh pressed, virgin olive oil, it's kind of like that kind of smell. I don't know what that is, but again, fantastic scent. What are we up to? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Lucky number for some. Number 8 will go to, ooh, I better clean that up. There's a lot of fingerprints on it because I use my fragrances. Again, I wear them. As you can tell from this video, I wear them, right? Here we go. This is Loewe Eau Fraiche. Okay, fantastic scent, really good. And you can see I'm probably a little bit past halfway on this 75ml bottle. Again, a really nice summertime scent. It really, really gets up your nose with its freshness, this one. It's really, really fresh, but almost like a minty fresh. And I don't think that there is, I don't know if there's any mint in here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there must be mint in here. But it's done differently. It's like a mint and yuzu almost. I don't know, but it's super citric. It's really fresh, and I really enjoy it. I actually put it on, and the reason why it's missing so much, because again, you know, it's a summertime fragrance. It's a fresh fragrance. The longevity on it is not that great. So that's why I have used almost half of it. Again, it's another really good cheapie if you want like something fresh for summer that nobody else is wearing. Give you a little bit of difference, give you a little bit of depth. This one right here, Loewe Eau Fraiche. And why wouldn't the next one on this list be its brother, which is the original Loewe. Hopefully I've managed to get all the fingerprints off this one, but you could probably see through the bottle here that I've used up more of this than I have of the other one. I've probably got a third of this bottle left, 75ml. Man, this is good. This is one of my favorite cheapies of all time. This fragrance is so different, and it's so good, and it's so long lasting. The bottle is nice. It's got a metal cap. It's got a pressurized atomizer as well. And that cypress in here is just so nice. It's almost like having a 7-Up in the middle of a forest, or a Sprite in the middle of the forest. Not as sweet though. The fizziness of it really comes through. But yeah, I have used up quite a bit of it. Really enjoy this one. And yeah, again, stupidly cheap for the actual quality that you get in this bottle. It is really, really off the charts. So if you haven't smelled it, get your nose on it. There's a reason why I get such a high rating from so many votes on Fragrantica, as a matter of fact. Loewe. While we're on the theme of sort of freshy kind of fragrances, and I might tell you about this one right here. This is Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal Cologne. Okay, you can see there's not much left in here. There's a reason why I haven't actually finished this bottle, is because when I bought this, I bought maybe four bottles. And because I bought my first one, at work, I sprayed it when I got to the office, and I went, holy hell, this is great. For $18, I went out and bought 3 more. So I've got a couple that are unopened still, and the reason why this one's not finished is because I left the other one that I opened, the second one that I opened, I left in the office, in my drawer at the office next to my desk, and this one I kept at home. I wore this at home sometimes when I was in the office and I needed like a mid-afternoon sort of pick-me-up or something like that. I'd reach for that and I'd spray it, okay? And I had a little bit left of that. I think I sold that one recently because I wasn't using it. So I had about 40 mils left of that. And so put them together, and I should have actually finished this, but I haven't. Now, this beautiful grapefruit, almond, just zesty. And again, the Guerlain quality is there. And I love the fact that, for me anyway, this is actually quite a long-lasting fragrance for the type of fragrance that it is. It's a freshy, but you know, it's really nice. And it's one of the very few fragrances that I've actually been complimented on. No shit. And I've never done a top 10 complimented list because I don't believe it to be true, first of all, number one, for all of these guys that are walking around going, oh my God, I get heaps of compliments whenever I wear this. Nobody's fucking complimenting you. Let's get that straight. No one's complimenting you, all right? You're not like a supermodel walking around and, you know, ladies are like going, ooh, you smell great, you know, whatever. No one's doing that, and you're bullshitting completely. You go, this is my top 10 compliment getters, and you've done like 4 or 5 videos of that shit. No, this one I've been complimented on, all right? This one I've been complimented on, and that is legit. And I can remember it because I don't get compliments on my fragrance from people. No, you know, people usually tell me that, you know, I'm dressed nice, I look good, you know, I carry myself well, I'm a pleasant person to be around, I'm smart, all that kind of shit, which is fine. But my fragrance, I don't really want to pull compliments for my fragrance. But when I do, I kind of get a little bit self-aware, going, shit, did I spray too much of this? Maybe I sprayed too much of this, and you could smell it from like meters away. And I'm looking about like, oh, okay. Maybe I should have been easier on the trigger, but this one, you can be as liberal as you want with the trigger. Maybe not now because it's, you know, totally like going up in price because it's been discontinued. And yeah, this is one that, again, I've worn, I know it very well, I love it, and I will come back to it once the sun starts to shine a little bit brightly again. Guerlain Homme Ideal cologne. Can I, come on, focus. Yes, focusing, good. All right, wow, this is tough. Okay, the next one on this list is one of my favorites, and I don't talk about it very, very often because everybody else talks about this fragrance instead of me. By everybody else, I mean not too many people. But when they do, they always have high praise for it, always have good things to say about it. And that is this one right here. This is Zino by Davidoff. Okay, Zino by Davidoff. You could probably see, maybe you can see, I'll just come closer so you can see this. All right, you focus on this. Now I'll bring my lightsaber. I'll bring my lightsaber so you can see how much is actually left in this bottle. You can see how much is left in this bottle right there. You see that? And now I've only used a little bit of this. And the reason for that is because it's my second bottle of it in the space of 4 years. I went through a 125 ml bottle of this, and now I've probably gone through another 15 mils out of this bottle as well. I love it, absolutely love it. Ooh. It is so nice. Now, like I said previously when I've talked about this fragrance, that it does remind me of the 1940s, but it came out in 1986. And Zino is a fragrance that has its own CD, the Sound of Love, or something like that. But Zino has its own CD, and I don't have it. I might actually try and see if I could chase that down. It'll be a pretty bit of a trip. Have I smelled Tom Ford's Beau de Jour? Yes, I have. Is it better than this? Yes, it's better than this formulation because this is the reformulation of this fragrance. The original, which if you have the box or the bottle at the bottom, should tell you that it's been distributed by Lancaster, and the telltale sign, if you don't have a picture of the bottom of the bottle, is that the cursive that is used, the font that is used to, the cursive that is used to actually write Zino on the bottle is used also to write Davidoff at the bottom, right? So it's a different look down here. So if you can catch that, that's a good one to have. The original is actually quite a lot better, but again, this is very, very acceptable for the price. Zino by Davidoff. Next, I'm gonna go into Armaf territory. I don't talk about this, but here it is. It is Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man. It's hard to tell with this bottle, but I did put my light through it, and I've got maybe 7 or 8 mils left in this bottle. Now, this bottle is bottle number 3 in the last 5 years. This was a staple for a while. There was a season where I went through it every day. It became my signature scent for a while, maybe 4 years ago, yeah? And this is the last bottle that I purchased or repurchased, and I'm almost done with this one as well. I know it very well, and this is the reason why I don't talk about it. I don't talk about it because I know what it is, you know what it is. It's a very popular fragrance, everybody talks about it, and I like this fragrance, funnily enough, I like this fragrance despite not having smelled Aventus for a very, very long time. When I got this, I was like, oh, I think this smells like Aventus. But I didn't know that it was an Aventus clone at the time. Yes, I didn't know. And the reason why I picked this up is because I used to read reviews from a certain reviewer on Base Notes whose taste I really gravitated or actually aligned with. And that reviewer had really impeccable taste, great way of describing what a fragrance was like. And when they described this, I thought, that sounds like it's right up my alley. The price is right as well. Presentation, I don't mind. I like black bottles because they're less prone to getting light through. And so the juice stays nicer for longer. So I picked it up. And when I picked it up, I sprayed it on and the smokiness in it. Well, I guess I picked it up, I sprayed it on. I was like, holy shit, this is disgusting. And then 30 minutes later, and for the rest of the day, I got the smokiness and the birch and everything like that coming through. It was brilliant. Brilliant, really good. Yeah, and that's all I can smell right now because I haven't sprayed it for a while. And I don't want to do that because it's really powerful. I don't know what batch this is from either. Anyway, yeah, Club de Nuit Intense. Man. And a recent pickup, which is in the same family, which is this one right here. This is Milestone from Club de Nuit. Again, Club de Nuit Milestone, which is supposed to be the cologne of Millésime Impérial. I did a video review of this, or a critique of this. I don't really like it, but the reason that I've worn it so much is because I wanted to do a review of it. So that's why I wore it quite a bit, to test it out and learn to live with it and let it sort of have some air into the bottle. And I have used, if you can see the level on it. Maybe you can, I'll just move it around, see that? I think I'm at I've used maybe like 40 mils out of this bottle already, and I only picked it up quite recently, kind of last year, towards the tail end of last year is when I picked this up. And again, I don't think I'll wear it again. I'll probably give it another try this summer, coming when the weather heats up again. I'll give it another try. I probably won't be getting another bottle of this ever again. The salt is not my thing. The next one on this list is this one right here. Please focus. And that is Bright Neroli by Ferrari. And the reason why there's so much of it gone is because in the summertime, you just spray this very, very liberally. What the? Okay. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's a very plain, very straightforward Neroli. It's quite nice. It's quite good for summertime. Spray on a white shirt, go out in the summer sun and enjoy yourself because you smell like Neroli. It's nothing too complicated either. Bottle is really nice. Cap is solid metal with a bit of leather on it. So the presentation is quite good quality. And I've used up almost half of this. I didn't actually wear this last summer. And the reason why is because I wore other things that I'll show you what I wore this summer, a lot of, which took precedence. But yeah, this is one that I know very well. And if you could still find it for around $30, $40, I'd say get it because it's a really nice Neroli. It does what it says on the bottle. It's a bright Neroli. And if you like Neroli without too much of the citrus in there, then you'll love this. You absolutely love this. Ferrari, Bright Neroli. Now, the thing that I wore this summer quite a lot of is this one right here. And I don't know why it took me so long to actually get myself a bottle of this. Look how much is left in it. Not very much, not very much. This is Sean John's 3 AM. And oh man, I love the scent. I really do. I love the atomizer. And I don't mind spraying it that liberally because it'll probably just disappear in about 30 minutes. And that's probably the reason why I've used so much of it up. Tasting it in the air. It's even delicious. Okay, I've used up a lot of it because the longevity on this, the performance on this is not that great. Also, I thought last week, one of the guys that I did the comparison video with 3 AM and Xerjoff's Renaissance, I'll put a link somewhere and up there maybe, he bought a bottle of this because he really liked it and because it's cheap and he's not a cologne guy. And he wore this and all the boys met up for some dinner or something and he was wearing it. And I thought, ooh, that's familiar. What are you wearing? He's like, I'm wearing that 3 AM. When he came in, it was really projecting off him quite well. It was a bit more tart and citrusy off him than it is this one. This is a bit more creamy with the fig, but it really smelled nice. Like it didn't smell like it was super high quality or anything, but it smelled very, very pleasant. And that was on a cold night. So maybe it does have a bit of longevity. I just need to maybe try and wear it on a colder day and see what happens. So I'll give this another try in the cold weather. But to me, whenever it was like stinking hot, I really wanted to smell like this. It just put me in another mood. So this is, again, love the fragrance. The performance is horrid. And if they make the performance better, that would be great. I would buy it. Again, like 25, 30 bucks for a big bottle like this. And that atomizer, woo, pretty good value. Sean John, 3 a.m. And we get to this classic right here, which is Terre d'Hermès. If it focuses, it'll show you. Yeah, Terre d'Hermès. I've used up quite a bit of it, almost half. Now, this bottle actually is a 2013 batch, but I picked it up in 2017, and I've used up almost half of it. And that's because it's quite good. It's quite strong, it's quite long lasting, and it's a beautiful scent. Now, funny story with this, and the reason why it took me so long to actually get myself a bottle of this. My office was in a shopping center. My office was in a shopping center, in a shopping mall, in a mall, remember those? And it was above a department store. And so during my lunch breaks, I would walk down and of course, go for a walk around the center and always end up in the perfume section of that department store. And they had this. And this was a regular thing that I tested maybe for about 4 years. Right, just regularly going there, testing. I don't know what the big deal about this thing is. I really don't. It smells like, I don't know, it smells like a burnt orange that's been squashed in dirt or something like that. And I don't get it. And I had it on the test strip and I would be smelling it, and I'd spray it on my skin sometimes. And I'd be, yeah, it's all right. But one day I sprayed it on and I went back to work. I'm working, maybe a couple of hours later, I smelled something and it was me. And I just went, oh my God, this is awesome. And it just clicked, It either was a representation of my olfactory senses being upgraded, or that I got old, and when I got old, I wanted to go into an older, sort of more older gentleman kind of smell, which this is. And I was an older gentleman with more grays maybe, and I was maturing, and that's why I needed a mature fragrance, and that's what my olfactory senses were telling me to like. I don't know, but either way, this is a beautiful scent. It still is a beautiful scent, and I love it. And I did have a backup bottle, but I sold it because, hell, I'm not gonna ever get to it because it's been 5 years and I've gone through 40% of this. Maybe in like another decade, I'll finish this. But yeah, Terre d'Hermès, beautiful. This is another one that I've talked about in the past. This is Santos de Cartier Concentré. Now, I know this is the reformulated version. I think it is probably like the 3rd reformulation of this. It's not the original, but I absolutely adore this fragrance. It is super nice. It is very long lasting. It's quite complex. It's quite different as well as a fougère that it would actually lead you to believe. The bottle is quite nice and classy as well. Everything about this is elegance and class, and that chili pepper note up the top really sets it apart, and it's quite good. There's some herbs in here. So I think there's basil and sage and amber and cedar, but really there is that chili pimento kind of thing going on, which gives it a bit of sharpness, a bit of sweetness. But yeah, I have smelled the original, like not the original, but like just the Santos de Cartier, not the concentrate version, and it is way more woody than this is. It's way more sort of woody forward than this is, which is nice, but I prefer this one because of it's more aromatic than it is a woody sort of fragrance. And I think I have got maybe about 10 or 15 mils left in this bottle. I really slowed down using this when I got to sort of the bottom end because I just thought, oh man, it was really hard to actually find this, first of all, where I am. And again, the discounters wouldn't really deliver it for a reasonable price. Yeah, I never picked it up until once it became available, and I bit the bullet and I went, all right, I need to have this. So I did. And I wasn't disappointed. Would I get another one of these? Well, I don't really wear it all that often anymore. Might need to pull it out actually when the weather gets a little bit colder. So I think it's really nice in cold weather, but really it's a more formal occasion. If you got to go to the office and you got to dress up with a nice suit and tie, that kind of thing, this is a really good one. Santos de Cartier Concentrate. So the next place I'm gonna go to is actually probably the first, actually it's the only niche fragrance on this list. Okay, well, here you go. This is Xerjoff Casamorati's 1888. You can probably see the level of the juice here. If you can't see it, can you see it? I'll get it out of the way. There it is. Right, there you go. This is a 30 ml bottle. I've used up almost half of this. I've probably used up 10 ml already. Now that isn't of itself very much information, but if you dig back only a few videos ago, maybe last month or the month before, that's when I got this and I unboxed it and I did my first impression of it. And I've already gone through so many wearings of this. It's just, oh, it's fantastic. And as far as Casamorati goes, this is the best offering of what I've smelled. I think I've smelled like a dozen of the Casamorati fragrances. This is their best one. And second, really close, I'll show you next, but this 1888, I am spewing, as they say in Australia. I'm very disappointed in myself why I didn't buy a full 100 ml bottle of this, because I can foresee myself wearing this quite a lot. Beautiful florals and with a Dr. Peppery kind of vibe at the top, but then it really settles in and it really lasts for quite a long time as well. It's not huge, but it's doable, you know what I'm saying? And it's one of those ones where you can say it's truly unisex as well. So Casamorati 1888, if you haven't tried it, try it. And the next one that's from this house and second best is this one right here. This is Dolce Amalfi from Casamorati. Clove bubble gum, delicious. Spicy clove bubble gum. It's so good. Initially, some people are like, oh, I don't know about this one. It's a bit spicy. And then wait for it, and then it just spreads out like this, and you're like, ooh, it's clove bubblegum, but it's really quince is what's giving you that vibe. It says quince, not an edible fruit, but you can make quince jam out of quince. It's not really a good looking fruit either. So yeah, but it is this color. This is the color of quince most of the time when it's ripe, and it does smell very, very nice. I love the smell of quince. I don't think I've ever actually eaten quince, but this is quite close to the actual aroma of quince, but with a bit of clove as well. There's much more in there as well. Again, I have to exercise a lot of restraint, not trying to overspray this, because I really just want to douse myself in it. Again, I'm very, very upset with myself for not getting the full 100 ml bottle of this, because I can see myself finishing this quite quickly. It's just a great scent, and a very close second to 1888 in the Xerjoff's Casamorati sort of lineup. I'd probably say the third best one that I've smelled of Casamorati is got to be the Mephisto Gentiluomo. So that's my top three of this sort of line. But this one, beautiful. Try and see if you can get your nose on it if you haven't. It's a really nice sort of summertime kind of fragrance, I would imagine. But I wore it in the cold weather, and it was more spicy. That was my take on it. Yeah. From what I know about this, I've only picked it up this year, like maybe last month, and I've already worn so much of it. In the hot days, the fruits came out, and in the colder days, the spices actually came out a little bit more. So fantastic, and it morphs, and it's appropriate all year round. Say it's an all year round fragrance. Dolce Amalfi. Second last in this list, oh my God, I've been going for ages. Okay, is this one right here. This is a Guerlain Homme. Please focus. Is it? Yes, it is. It is. Look at it. It's working. Guerlain Homme, and I've used up this much of it. And the reason why I haven't used more of it is because I was exercising restraint in the summertime to not wear this all the time. It just makes me feel cool. It makes me feel cool. It's got a cooling effect It's just really weird. It's mojitos, it's mint, it's rum, and it's citruses, right? But the citruses aren't that forward. It's more of the mint and the rum and the vetiver that really make this different. It makes this different. You won't get this kind of quality for this price. Actually, no, it's not that cheap because this was 40 bucks for a 30 ml bottle. So you multiply that out and you're looking at like maybe $100. Actually, $100 is actually quite good value for a fragrance like this, because you want to get something close to this, you need to go to Xerjoff's Renaissance, which has actually got a similar vibe to this, but without the rum. Which I think is the best fragrance that Xerjoff have. Fight me. Back to Guerlain Homme. It's a classic. It is in eau de toilette concentration, this one, and it lasts for quite a long time for what it is, for the type of fragrance that it is. It has been reformulated and repackaged in the generic Guerlain bottles now, and it's being sold as an eau de parfum. And I do think it is different. It's highlighting different aspects of the note pyramid. It's probably less for the high heat than the eau de toilette is. Like I said, I've really had to restrain myself from using more than I wanted to. I will probably finish this bottle quite quickly, but I will wait until it's weather appropriate to wear it again. But yeah, again, a fantastic scent, Guerlain Homme, recommended big time. And last but certainly not least is one that I've talked about, I think, a couple of times before, and it's this one right here. This is, you probably already know, but I'll say what it is. It's the Night of the Man, also known as La Nuit de l'Homme. And I don't have much left. It's probably, yeah, you're looking at probably about 10 to like 15 mils left in this bottle. And the reason why this isn't finished is because I actually ended up buying a 200 ml bottle of this, which I used maybe 10% of and then sold it on, because it was a different year, it was a different batch, and it was a different formulation. I've talked about this in a previous video as well. And that formulation was nowhere near as good as this one, which is really weird because that formulation was a 2020 bottle and this one's not that old. This is like a 2018 bottle. I just think that the variation between the two was really large, and the new one, like, even though it was nice, it really didn't suit what I wanted, my style. Like, it was too clean, it was too rounded, and again, the longevity performance of it wasn't as good as this. This is more deep, this is more spicy as well, and it lasts for quite a long time, as a matter of fact, and it projects quite well. And it's a very, very likable fragrance. Having said that, I know there's gonna be some people like, oh, it's still reformulated and it, you know, the original was better. Yes, I've actually worn the original as well. I've got a video of that, and I found a tester of the original from 2009 in a department store, but they wouldn't sell it to me, so I sprayed the shit out of it on myself and I wore it all through the day, and I went back and I reapplied it again before I went home, and then I went home and I tested it against this. Very minor differences, very, very minor differences, okay? May have been a little bit more depth in the spices, in the vintage, in the original formulation than this, but like if you can find any batch from like 2018, I don't know, there's batch variations apparently, but this is the one that I've got, 2018, and it's fantastic, okay? And like, what else do I need to say other than I've used up almost the whole thing since I got it, and it hasn't been very long since I had it. And I gotta say, I haven't worn it for quite a while. I'm just waiting. I'll just probably wait and see what else can happen to this. If the juice is gonna get any darker in color, because actually it's gone. It was like, this juice is way darker in color than that 200 ml bottle that I had as well. That one was almost colorless and see-through. This one is sort of a nice sort of yellow, and maybe getting more yellow or more sort of orangey kind of in color. So there you go. I might talk about this a little bit later in another video when I tell you about how to recognize vintage fragrances as opposed to the reformulated ones. But there you go, that's 21. I went through them all without dying, and I think this is a pretty long video. So I will put this guy over here with the other 20, and I will say, don't collect, wear the fragrance, wear it. That's why you got it, you need to wear it. You need to wear it in different occasions, you need to wear it in different weathers, different settings, on different clothes, maybe even on different people you need to smell it as well. And that way you get to know it a lot better, and that way you get to judge for yourself whether it's something that you want to be around more often, or if it's something that you want to pass on to somebody else, or even gift. And just like we shouldn't judge fragrances on first impressions and first appearances and things like that, even though the first appearances do make a very strong impression on us, it's with the impressions that we learn over time that really give us the true indication of what something or someone actually is. So bear that in mind, and thank you, as always, for watching.